Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 4v4 ladder match here on the map, The Pyramid. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Red Team, also known as Team 1 in the Northeast, ending with Blue Team in the Southwest, also known as Team 2. Starting off with Red Guard Air Slot here for Team 1. It is Sandman going first air as a Cybern. He is a 1326 rated player in Light Oak Tan. To his west in Chevy Crimson, we have another Cybern player of Kane going first land. He is a 1638 rated. In the middle lineup here for Team 1, it is Hannibal going first land as a Seraphim in orange, the color orange at 1430. And in the southeast, we have Seal Force going first land as an Aeon. He is in Ruby Red at 1591 rated. By the way, Kane is the highest ranked player on Team 1. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have two Cyberns, one Aeon, and a Seraphim, which means Team 1 does not have access to UEF technology. Starting off in the southwest here in the rear guard air slot is Team 1's Balfron. He is in Tropical Ocean Blue, going first air as a UEF at 1246 rating. To his east in Royal Blue, we have Taffy going first land as another UEF hit for his team. He is a 1728 rated, the highest rank on Team 2 and in the game overall. And like I said, he is a UEF. In the middle lineup here, we have Joker going first land, second air as a Seraphim in Amethyst Purple, and he is a 1337 rated. And to the northwest, we have Ershar. That's how you say that, of Death. Ershar of Death? I don't know how to say that last part of Er. He's going first land, second land as well. He's a 1468 rated, and again, he is UEF as well in Stitch Blue. So for Blue Team side of the map, they have 3 UEF and 1 Seraphim, which means they do not have access to Cybern or Aeon technology, while Team 1 does not have access to UEF technology. We do see movement out here from both teams' comms. We do see movement to the middle, which is very customary here for the map of the pyramid. And before our players get into the nitty-gritty of the game, let's go ahead and take a look at the reclaim for 8 players, 46,000 mass, which means they have about 6,000, a little under 6,000 of mass so per player, which is, again, for a map like this, a 10 by 10, it's a pretty decent amount of mass. And for mass point layouts, we have a Trimex position in the southeast and in the northwest. We also have, I'd say that's a Trimex. It's a little bit further apart than I would like to call it. But you're not going to have one player on one team grab this and the other player on the other team grab that. It's really going to be just one or the other. And there's obviously the mirror to the northwest. And besides that, just a couple of ones dotted all around the map. There's a couple of them on these upper plateaus on the eastern and western edge. And south and northern edge as well. Bunch of edge mexes. But that is it for our players to scoop up. And again, it is a 4v4 ladder match. 8 players in total. And I did not have to slow the game down because 8 players, I end up being about the same time frame as I normally would be in a 5v5 or 6v6 if I do slow it down. So it balances each other out. And again, with calm movements, everybody on both teams have left their main bases. We do see going to be essentially a 2v2 down the middle with a 1v1 on either side. Very customary here for the pyramid map. And of course, the Egyptians only built one of them here, or the descendants or ancestors or whatever the heck you want to call it, or aliens, depending on your inclination to believe if the pyramids were built by aliens, or if you've watched Stargate, that as well. The pyramids were built by aliens as well. In the northwest, we do see the comms of Cain and Hershey. I'll just call him Death. Death moving in to intercept one another. Death trying to, not Death. And moving into that Trimex position over there, trying to claim it. But there's a couple of T1 tanks trying to stop him, but that's not going to stop a comm with that much firepower in its chassis. We do see a drop outbound here from Team 1, it looks like. Outbound from Sanoman. He is the Cybern air player and does get killed off. That T1 facility was barely started, but unfortunately is not finished off, which means it will slowly decay to nothingness. Team 2 Staffy pushing on this eastern edge. Coming up a little bit more forces to deal with here from CO Force. I was thinking of the word to use. On the western side, it's not really the same scenario. We have Death just pumping out a ton of engineers, diverting some of those units up northward to try to halt the expansionary efforts of Kane for that Trimex position up there. And now we see Taffy getting into the thick of it here with some Aurora. There's not very many hit points on board, so 2 shots will be all that it takes to kill off those tanks. And that will be it for the, at least forward momentum for the time being for Seal Force. We do see Battlefront's commander coming in to assist his teammate of Joker, while we have both Sanoman and Hannibal rotating, or at least moving in on the northeastern side, which makes sense because that's where they came from. But I could easily see them coming in around this western side and trying to remove this position here for Team 2, while Team 2 doing the exact same thing, but in the opposite direction. And it does look like we'll have some calm action here pretty soon here for Team 1 and Team 2. Kane getting awfully close to headshot of death. He's just sitting there kind of hanging out. T1 tank will poke at him once again. He'll be forced back and killed. Oh, shot misses, but does end up getting the kill on the 4th one. T1 Mechs is killed off here for Battlefront, but there are some units for Team 2 to be able to isolate them and take them out relatively easily. We are seeing some forward momentum here for Team 2 with some of those Thams. They're encountering some rogue Thams, at least in their mind rogue, on their side of the map. It's essentially a 1v1 scenario with a couple of more units here for Team 2, but there are a couple of artillery pieces in the mix as well, some Zooies, and so they're going to be able to pump out a decent amount of damage if the Thams do not move. And all the Thams are not even engaging as well, which means these two, no, the last 2 Thams on Team 1 get a lot of value out of them when all those units could have crashed and killed them off very, very quickly. Speed and range on the way here for Joker in the middle of the map. We do see Steel Force has claimed most of the Trimax position here, while Sanoman was able to drop once again and establish a nice little foothold here in the southeast corner. So both of the corners are now currently owned by Team Red, which puts Team 2 or Blue Team in a not best situation here. But we'll see if Team 2 can mount a comeback in that regard. And they are doing so here, sending all of the units for both of Death and Joker northward, trying to draw the attention here from Team 1, and force them to intercept and move in this regard, or may even try to pull the attention from Kane. This is a decent amount of forces here. They could be gifted over to one player and send them full around to go for the T2 position here and try to take that out and force back Kane on this northern side. And there's not a lot of units outbound from Team 1's players, at least over here, so this could be a huge opportunity. And now there's going to be a counter move outbound from Team 1's Kane to try to do essentially the exact same thing. But there's more units stringing in all the time, and Team 2's Death is putting a nice little Team 1 radar system online to help be able to just suss things out. Advanced range has been started here for Seal Force. He already has the regular range on board, and damage range coming on the way here for Taffy. It does look like there's a little bit more of that, like I said, western rotation outbound from Team 1's players. And they are kind of start walking around, hanging out. Nice little pyramid. And yeah, of course, if you ever wonder why we're here, that's the vibes. Whenever I say red team and blue team, that's always when I always think of red versus blue, the machinima out from Rooster Teeth. And that company did officially close its doors, I think it was like a week ago, as of the video, something like that. So it's kind of sad to see them go. I watched the videos for a very long time. I essentially I found them. The first time I encountered them was I got the special edition Halo 3 edition with the Master Chief helmet, and it had a couple of their videos on like a bonus disc, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I started watching their other content. But that's how I got introduced to Red vs. Blue, was just essentially by accident. And I've been a fan of seasons 1 through 10. That's about it. I don't really like the direction they took the other seasons, so I'm not a huge fan of them. But you know, everybody has their taste and their flavors, of course. But we do see this group of units outbound from, there's a little bit of units from Taffy, but mainly from Joker pushing in. They're getting into the main base here for Team 1's Hannibal, but there is an Ilshi nearby, and that will stop any sort of aggression. And of course, those units do stop next to a T2 Mechs. They will not be able to kill it off. They don't have enough time or the firepower to do so, at least with the units they have left. And unfortunately for them, they are unable to kill it off. We do see gun damage and range finished off for Battlefront, going for Nano, and Headshot of Death will retreat, at least for a little bit, get a nice better positioning. Nano repair going on the way for Taffy as well. So 2 comms on Team 2 going for Nano. They fear that there's some sort of attack that's imminent in some regard at some point. There's a lot of units being built up here for Seal Force. He's getting a very defensible position up on the line, at least something to fall back to at a minimum. And the dual comms here in the middle of the map here for Team 1. now forcing their way around, like I said, westwardly. They're trying to knock this position out here for Team 2. Lots of units are being built up here for them, but kind of hard because there's not a lot of firepower between either of the teams. And with 2 comms, this amount of THAMs is not enough to take out one of the comms. Neither of them have upgrades, so that is definitely a benefit for Team 2. But it's just there's not enough forces here, and see this glitch up. Oh, there it goes. It goes away. I was like, there's this glitch over here in the northwest corner, but it disappeared. T2 on the way here for Headshot of Death. He's going for, he already has the Zepham. I think all of the players on Team 2 have gun, at least them, yeah, they all have gun. And now we have the comm-on-comm action between Seal Force and Taffy. Seal Force has the advanced range and speed. Taffy only has the gun and nano. And Seal Force trying to be able to use that advanced range to his advantage. Taffy just kind of dodging for the moment and kind of just walking back and forth. T2PD going to be built. Actually, that's a radar, not a T2PD. T1 radar going to be built to get some nice little vision going on. Seal Force will just stand there and take a couple of shots to the chest. And now some triads are online. Going to force Seal Force back. He's taking some hits. He's fallen into the yellow. Taffy still in the green and going to be able to shoot at Taffy at range. Jill going to come and shield up Seal Force's commander. Taffy receiving a ton of firepower. Needs to probably fall back at the time being. I know he wants to push and allow his engineers enough time to build a bunch of T2PD to force back Seal Force. But he's taking a lot of unnecessary shots. Again, like I said, I understand where he's coming from. That's a lot of shots. He needs more defenses online. He needs a shield or something. Lots of units going to try to intercept a lot of those shots here from Seal Force, but Taffy's still receiving a lot of firepower. And we do have an engagement here in the northwest here between Kane and Headshot of Death. And I think it's time that I split what's going on so we know what's going on both the northwest and the southeastern corners. We do see Taffy engaging, and PD are starting to fire on Seal's commander. We do see Kane being forced back on that western side. And Headshot of Death pushing forward. Of course, Kane is a Cybran, has a little bit less hit points than the UEF comm variety, but is able to dish out a decent amount of firepower. Seal Force is dropped into the red. He will be forced to back up, giving this a nice little win here for Team 2. I think I can unsplit this and focus on what's going on in the northwest with Headshot of Death receiving a lot of firepower from these Mantis. He needs a 1-star veterancy to assist in hit point regen, and now he's going to send all of his units into trying to assist in retreating. Shield is going to be started here for Seal Force to rep up some hit points, and more units coming in from this cliffside to assist. Hoplites on station trying to assist in that regard, but I don't think that Hoplite will do much work. Gets a nice red veterancy star, but we'll be able to not make it out of range because that artillery kills him off. But Team 2's forces, at least the comms, have actually pushed and gone around on this eastern side, kind of isolating Hannibal Lowe's retreat. He's going for, I think, a gun upgrade. No, he has a gun. Going for, I don't know what he's doing on board that commander, but he's doing something. Going for that T2 mix, it looks like, but it's Balfron versus Hannibal Lowe, and Santaman coming in to assist. T2PD lasering into the face of Hannibal Lowe. He's going to be forced back, now rotating westward, trying to hide behind either some environment or that giant pyramid, which I guess is environment. But again, Taffy just trying to hunt down Seal Force. Seal Force drops into the far reaches of the red, sub 1,000 hit points. Once again, gets a nice ranking veterancy, and is able to get out of range just due to the amount of units that are body blocking Taffy. Taffy will not be able to intercept that comm, but maybe a couple of units will be able to do so. We do see a little bit of retreating is going on here for Team 1, and Kane being very aggressive and trying to force back that army here, or over there here for Of Death. Seal Force again below the 1,000 mark, needs to get out of range sooner rather than later. That Aeon Sniper Commander really coming into, what was the call? I don't, not coming in first, but coming in good use, I should say. Coming in handy. There's the word. Coming in handy for him to be able to retreat and attack at the same time. Ilshis versus Ilshis in the middle, and units rotating from Taffy to come and assist with this push. Outbound from Hannibal, trying to distract forces from Team 2 while he mounts his escape, but Hannibal scooping up a reclaim, or just scooping up some sort of wreck. That's probably not the best idea. The comms of Joker and Balfron coming in to intercept. And it looks like it's going to be the first kill on the cards here for the game. And it is. And it is against Team 1. So Team 2 is at 4v3 in their favor. It does look like those issues have been dealt with for the most part. And Team 2's Taffy trying to, again, force his way forward. He does have nano. And is trying to prevent shield. Well, I don't even know if he's going for shield. Does he know he's going for shield? He doesn't know. He knows he's standing there. And I think he does know that there was the upgrade on board. are coming on board, but he doesn't know a whole lot. Taffy gonna press the issue. Seal Force is only at 1,700 hit points. Oh, no. Not, oh, it's... He could go for it. Seal Force would be able to do a decent amount of damage to him, but he could probably have killed that comm and stopped the upgrade. But with the kill on Hannibalo, it will force Sandalman back to his main base. He does have T3 air, same as his mirror of Balfron. Balfron should retreat. He is the air player. He needs to get out of range of any sort of snipes. Nice facility is going to start be established here for Joker, getting some nice T2 AA black to prevent any sort of gunships coming in to snipe him. But Balfron doesn't have that same luxury. He needs to get underneath some coverage, or at least kill off that Whaler from Sanoman. ASF coming in to assist, and that Whaler will come in. Balfron does have a decent amount of time to make it to that AA position, but he's going to suffer a decent amount of hit points lost because of it. ASFs try to go after ASFs. Need to go after the gunship at the minimum. And more ASFs are arriving here. Snipe Taffy, says Hannibalo. And Taffy again forcing back Seal Force. He does not complete that shield upgrade, unfortunately, here for him. And that again was... oh, no. No, it does get finished. Excuse me. It looked like it didn't, but it did. Looks like he was having some power issues. But that's 8,000 more hit points that he can use to weather the storm that is the incoming threat of the UEF from the southwest. And still in the west, it is red versus blue, of course, being the teams and the colors here. But Kane forcing his way back against Headshot. He's on fire a little bit. He has the missile launcher on board, and Kane has Nano on board. 96 hit points to second region, and forcing his way back on this western side. So while Team 2 gains an advantage in the southeast, Team 1 gains an advantage in the northwest, and forcing Team 2 back constantly. Team 2 needs to rotate more units and forces over there. Waylo coming in, taking out some T2 mexes here for Team 2. That's never going to feel good. And Balfron now underneath some shield cover to protect his commander. But Hersher still receiving constant fire from Team 1's units. He's at 2-star veterancy, making his way up to a third. Loses both of his T2 P-gens. That's going to hurt. And now we have Hoplites coming in to just mess up his day. Whaler's still doing a ton of work here for Sanoman. Took out 2-3 mexes. That is a decent amount of mexes to lose at this stage in the game. And now he's being surrounded, at least that being Headshare. He gets a nice overcharge in. Needs to get a couple more of those to get that 3rd-star veterancy. And gets another one out. Doesn't get a lot of kills there, but still gets some units killed off. All of the T2 units are dead. T2 land headquarters will be fine. Overcharge kills off a couple more Mantis. And it's almost T3. Launches a missile. Where is that going, I wonder? I don't know. Maybe for some mexes, I would assume. Yep, going for that T1 mex, it looks like. Or is it going to continue? No, it's going to continue onward. Going for that T2 mex over here, it looks like. But there is a zapper nearby. Oh, that was very close. Just needed like a second or two, and it would have been fine. Whaler coming in, taking out a couple more T2 mexes here for Team 1. And both of the columns for Joker and Balfron will retreat from that position, afraid of any sort of air snipes. Team 1 still holding a decent amount of territory here in the east. Definitely the side that they're going to hold on, while Team 1's Kane pushes on that western side. Team 1 owns the entire northwest corner of the map and then some. And how is the eco going? Team 1 is producing 120 more mass than their opponent roughly, which means it's a 3-2 advantage here. And you can see that just in the fact that Sanoman and Kane are over the 100 mark. Obviously, Kane has dual bases, which is beneficial. But Team 2 only has one player at 100, with all the other players at least at over 50. And Headshare losing a lot of his mass due to the fact that it was sniped earlier on. And that outbound force from Team... Oh, that missile hits the comm of Kane. He's going to build some AA2. Actually, doesn't even finish building it. Just goes, nah, I probably shouldn't just get sniped again by that missile. Another missile is outbound. It was where he was standing, but Kane does take a chunk of hit points to the face. Gone, or that missile to the face, and loses a chunk of hit points. The column of Taffy sitting on a nice little ridge up there. Kind of pondering what his life is and why he's here and all of that. We do see T2 units and T1 moving in, trying to draw these forces outbound. Team 2 does have access to Optims. Those are actually gifted over from somebody. Actually gifted over from Joker. I would prefer Percy's, but in this regard, I think the rapid-fire nature of the Optims is actually better suited. Ilshi's coming in to assist as well. Large group of Rhinos and Mantis try to intercept this position here for Joker. They get caught, and it does look like they'll do some damage. Looks like there's two Rhinos left and a couple of Mantis going after those engineers. And again, a push outbound here from CO Force. He has the shield and is repping up as well with some assistance from those engineers. And it does look like they're trying to target that T2 Mechs. They will kill it off, but the Autumn will come in and deal with the rest of those forces. And it's not looking good here for Team 2 on this western side, and it's not looking super good on the eastern side. I love how there's just a tiny little T1 radar with a couple of ball engineers from the Aeon faction just sitting there hanging out, just kind of waiting for the orders to be given, but they're not going to act on their own. You do see the air grid being nice and fanned out here for Team 1 Saddleman. Same thing happening here for Team 2. And Team 2, despite, I think, having a bigger air grid, let's see, 1, 2, 3 facilities online. 1, 2, 3, 4 facilities online. It does look like Team 1 has the better situation. Looks like, no, yeah, they definitely have the better situation with ASF count for the time being. But it does look like with the sniper bots here on the eastern side here for CO Force, he's able to fire back at range. These PD don't have a lot of protection, and they're killed off very, very quickly. And in a map like this at 10 by 10, sniper bots become very handy very, very quickly. You can see the range on board those bots. But we do see this outbound force from Team 2's Joker pushing in, trying to force back Team 1, trying to collapse this western side by coming in with a nice little hook maneuver and pincering. Actually, it's more of a hook/pincer maneuver with the forces outbound from Death. All those forces will now retreat to intercept these forces, and they're actually going to keep going around. Kane trying to move in with his commander. There's not really a lot more ground forces. There is a chicken started here for Kane. Why he's building chicken and not monkey, I will never know. But there are some whalers coming in, but there's a decent amount of flak in. Team 2 was prepared for that and decides, nope, not going to deal with it. Not going to deal with those gunships. And of course the Whaler's going to go after an Ilshi that gets caught in the front line. Whaler's trying to force back whatever's coming in, but these T2AA are just too much. And now it's just going to do a lot of havoc here on these interceptors that are just sitting on the ground and flying away. Autumn's coming in here from the east to try to again intercept and assist. But the Autumns are coming into range of that comm. Lots of flaks in the mix. Lots of Ilshis as well. Autumns could focus down the comm of Kane, but they're not. I think they're targeting all of the defenses and structures. But both of the Autumns are killed off. And these Ilshis are just, they're not in much numbers. They are not insignificant numbers to be able to force back Team 1 with the death of those Autumns. And it doesn't look like the Ilshis will be able to take out. Oh, it might be close. They'll kill the Autumn, but to what degree? That's just a bunch of mass that Team 1 can scoop up. We do see in the west, Team 2 has taken the advantage, at least from death, to push back Kane once again. This looks like some tickle cannons are going to come online for defensive measures. Whalers are outbound. They're going for Death's commander. He doesn't have a lot of protection in the air side of things. And I think this will be a kill on Team 2's commander. And there they go. They're going to start wailing on him, hence the name. But there are some interceptors coming in to try to assist, but they get caught by the ASF hit from Team 1. There's an ASF outbound from Team 2, not ASF. A couple of those gunships do get killed off, but that does give Team 1 air control. There are still a couple of whalers still online. There's only Team 1 AA guns, and Adversary of Death actually moving out of range of those AA guns. One whaler does escape. He will survive, but it will force him back once again, and this army will just go right back to where they were earlier on. So not really a lot changed, except a couple units died on Team 1 side of the map. That's about it from Team 2. Battlefront starting T2 in his base, 23 minutes on the clock. Let's take a look at the map control and the game overall. Team 1, 3 players left. Team 2 at 4 players left. Team 1 producing 550 mass a second, while Team 2 is at 490, 480. Again, the numbers keep jumping. So about 50 to 60 mass ahead of Team 1. About maybe 20 now, but that could be energy related, whatever the case may be. And map control, it's about 60-40 for Team 1. For Team 2, it's starting to get about 55, maybe 45. but Team 1 definitely in the driver's seat in terms of that. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win the game. Please, of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for that notification when I do post on the channel. I post every day at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and whatever conversion, that's 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and I don't even know what it is in England or Germany or Russia or everybody else watching my videos. And I do appreciate all the time and attention you do give to the videos and the channel. Thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And with that missile launch outbound from those spearheads, Team 1 gets blinded on this eastern side. Another amount of T3AA going to be built. Don't know why they're T3. They need to be T2 PD, essentially. Missiles raining in constantly here against Team 1 Seal Force. He's repped up pretty well, back up to high yellows at 8,300 hit points. If I'm reading the numbers correctly, it looks like 88 or it's 83. That's what I thought. Those missile launchers constantly throwing missiles and can fire essentially while moving with less accuracy, but can hook maneuver and whatnot. See them rushing in. Oh, it's going to fire. I think it's 4 missiles or 3 missiles at a time. It's a lot of missiles. And definitely overwhelmed other Team D, except for volcanoes. Volcanoes are like the one thing immune to most missiles. Unless it's just an overwhelming number of missiles, and then it just doesn't even matter. 4 missiles, that's what it is. Anyway, in the northwest, it does look like Team 2's Death just going to send its forces forward, force back Team 1. And it looks like just constant Othams are going to be the main battle tank here for this game. There are some Percys mixed in there, I noticed. But there are some Othams. Looks like Joker playing more of a support role in the middle. He could be pressuring the middle a little bit more than he is. But with that last attack not really working the way he wanted to, he's kind of being on the defensive, which can work in some scenarios if he does decide to just eco up and produce a bunch of chickens, which he is Seraphim. Seraphim players are known to do that. He's actually producing one as we speak. Team 1 does have a chicken online here from Kane with some assistance from not Sanoman, but, well, that is his stuff anyway, so I guess that's fair. Colossus is built in the east here for Team 1 Seal Force. And that air grid, of course, is being nice and plump. Becoming expanded very, very quickly. The air grid here for Battlefront not really doing any sort of expansionary efforts at the current moment. Does have a shield, but again, he's not expanding as much, I think, as he probably should be. And now that Aerial and Sniper Commander not fully shielded up. Can have the advanced shield, or heavy shield, but doesn't have it on board yet. Does look like the ASFs are moving in on the eastern side, going in for some attack in the southeast corner that Team 2 grabbed from Team 1 that they initially had. But these mixes are going to be dead in the water. And all of those gains, hopefully they have been realized, because there's nothing else that they can gain from that for the time being. Whalers, of course, not going to try to go after the units here for Team 2's Taffy, because there's a lot of flak in the mix. He should be producing, and he is, T3AA to support his nice little land force as well. But with the sniper bots outbound from Team 1, I feel like Team 2 should produce their own, because getting huge amount of work done here for Team 1 Seal Force. That Colossus is slowly moving in to that front line. On that western side, the chicken doing the exact same thing, leading the charge here for his troops to send Team 2 packing. And Head Chef Death has retreated. He's already at 11,000 mass killed, which means he has 5-star veterancy on board. Taffy's at 4,600, so he has 3-star. And Seal Force is at 2-star. And some Air Scout's going to just run into some ASFs. Not really the best place to plot your flight plan, but sometimes you just don't know what's there. And you end up crashing and burning because of it. But of course, are we gonna see a capture? No, it's a reclaim. Oh, it's disappointing, Seal Force. You should go for a capture. It'd be more entertaining. Very disappointing. He's gonna get the mass from it, but he could just capture it and be done with it. I don't see capturing that much done by players in this game, unless it's those AI not moving units. I forget what the map was called, but there's a bunch of Titans on that map, a bunch of water as well. There's like just random units you can go grab, but it takes a while to capture. I forget what that map's called. Anyway, oh, where did they come? Or where did that come from, says Staffy? Oh, it's right there. Seal Force's base. I mean, Seal Force is at 160 mass. He devoted a lot of attention to it. SMD is online. That makes me either think that Team 2 has a nuke, which they do, actually. And that attack is starting to be outbound here for Team 1's Kane. There's a lot of Othams that need to concentrate fire on that chicken. And PD and shields are being built as we speak. Percy's need to focus that chicken as well. But there's not really a lot to stop this chicken, which means these Othams, I mean, they're going to get in behind the chicken, which is good. So there's a lot of Mantis, T2 tanks as well, and some Othams outbound from Kane. So, and actually a couple bricks too. This base just control K's, not allowing the chicken to gain veterancy, which does work. The chicken is in the red and actually will gain veterancy off these Othams. And the chicken, oh, it does get veterancy, does get 6,000 more hit points. Will it make it out of dodge? Yes, it will. Kills essentially the entire base here for headshot of death. And that chicken comes in a little bit too late to the party. Unfortunately, he got the message a little bit too late, and he cannot help his teammate. And essentially knocks out headshot of death from the game for the time being. He'll actually gift over some of the mass to his teammate, essentially saying, I'm out of it. Just say, here, take it all. And I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to do something. He's going to go, I don't know if he's going to control K or what, but he'll do something. It's essentially a 3v3 without the 3v3 name on it. And those Whalers, they're running around the map here for Sanoman here in the middle. Team 1 not pressing the issue down the middle, wanting to go around the sides, which has proved very fruitful for them because look at their positioning. They own more than 50% of the map when you include the corners and a little bit of the middle. Now, oh, okay, of course, now I say that, then the Whalers come over the middle. But one T2 flak is not going to be enough to stop those Whalers. Kill that off very, very quickly. T3 land facility will be killed off. And that mix and everything else that is there. Colossus is going to move into the middle as well. Team 2 needs defenses online sooner rather than later. There's a ton of reclaim that they can grab. They haven't done so as of yet. Balfron, I don't know where you're doing or where you're going. But it looks like you might just reclaim. And there goes that Colossus. I'm going to speed it up just a tiny bit so that way we can get to that action that's going to occur here in a couple of seconds. All of the forces outbound here from Taffy are rotating to intercept. Gives a lot of room for Team 1 to work with on this eastern side. They do have a nuke being built by Balfron. But I think Team 1 knows about it. They definitely know about it, so they don't want him to launch it and kill off a base, which would be definitely a way to come back in this game, but SMD already half loaded, almost half loaded. SMD here has been started, and a couple of strat bombers are built up as well. If the nuke launches and takes out the air grid or the comm of Seal Force and the secondary air grid, that could be very big here for Team 2 to come back in this game. But it doesn't look like that attack is going to materialize like I thought. It looked like it were going to meet up here in the middle, the Whalers and the Colossus, but I guess not. That was very disappointing. I was very much looking forward to that. Chicken is going to be built. Satellite almost done here for Balfron. I feel like he should be loading the nuke a lot more because he does have that advantage. He doesn't know when the SMD is going to be loaded or how long ago it was built, but I mean, he could use it. He could at least sneak one in at a minimum. This one will load, I think, before the second will definitely load, but this one definitely will not load. And this is the range that the SMD can cover. Essentially, almost the entire base of Team 1 in general, and Sanoman's covers most of it. It's shifted a little bit more northward to cover the rest of what is up there in the northwest. But, I mean, it's pretty close to all of it. Does look like that attack in the west materializing once again. Chicken coming in. Looks like it might be a dual-pronged attack with the chicken to the north. The Whalers coming in to assist the initial push, as well as the Colossus that should be moving in here pretty shortly. Probably just waiting for reinforcements to arrive. Lots of flak raining in around those Whalers going after, I think, the chicken. I don't know what they were going after, but they're dead now. ASF's running around the map. Strap Bomber's going to come in and kill off a player on Team 2. Looks like that was Taffy that took the hit from Sanoman. All those strats will be taken out, and now it is a official 3v3 game here between Team 1 and Team 2. Satellite is online here as well, and that was huge here for Team 1 to take out the highest rated player of Team 2, but it does give all of that mass over to somebody else. That is Headshot of Death. He's back in this game, and he'll take control of what Taffy owned. Essentially, he lost his base and then gained a base, so that works. And that Fat Boy does finish off as well. And he does have access to a lot. Battlefront going to go for another satellite. That nuke almost about to load. How's the SMD going? It's half loaded. And like I'm saying, Team 2 could easily try to spam up those nukes and get at least a minimum of 1, if not maybe 2 in. And I would probably, if I would, probably put the nuke right about here. Grab the SMD, take out the gateway, take out most of the air grid and most of the everything here for Seal Force, and might even grab the comm as well. That's where I would place it at a minimum. But 2 chickens to the west versus 1, actually 2 chickens. But that second chicken is going to die. That'll be a lot of mass for Team 2 to scoop up that second chicken. Will be able to, I think, kill off the chicken from Team 2. But it will force back Team 1 as well. ASF going to come in, and again, they have the superior numbers. And there they go, going to rip the ASF protection patrol for Team 2. Nuke is outbound. Where is it going? It's going over here. Oh, it's such a missed opportunity. Balfron, what are you doing? You're right here. SMD not loaded. SMD also not loaded. They're actually pretty close, to be fair. It's such a disappointment. It does look like Kane might receive some laser to the face, but he'll hide underneath the shield. SMD over here. That's half loaded. The 3 SMDs, none of them are loaded. He will call off some mass, but kaboom! Kills off all of that. It's so disappointing. Could have done a huge number against Team 1, and now Team 1 just going to load that nuclear missile. Look, it wouldn't even have loaded. It wouldn't even have loaded. It would have landed. That would have landed. Definitely unfortunate here for Team 2. I mean, I do understand getting the confirmed kill versus the possible kill, but had Team 2 focused a little bit more on the nuke by loading it, even if it was just a couple of engineers in Battlefront's commander, and had maybe not produced the Novax first, gone for the first load, and then done the Novax, that would have guaranteed that that nuke would have loaded. It's such a missed opportunity. It's disappointing. But that's just how FAF goes sometimes. We do see that the chicken is going to be attacked by a combined push of Othams and Bricks. There's really nothing on the west side to prevent it except for this one chicken, and this should be enough firepower to kill the chicken off by itself, being just the Bricks and the Othams going for it. However, if the Bricks and Othams stay around after the chicken has been killed off, that's not going to feel good. But a second chicken does come to try to save its teammate. That chicken will die, unfortunately. And I love how there's Othams over here. And there goes the Ion Storm. Should be activating here pretty soon. Bricks are forming up. Not the best place to stand. Kill some of them off just from the activation alone. All those Othams are dead, and the Bricks as well. A couple do survive, but there's that Fat Boy over here to the east that comes and deal with the rest of those. There is that Whaler coming in to try to take out that Fat Boy, but there's a lot of flak in here as well. Are there any Cougars in the midst? I see T2. I don't see 2-3 Cougars. That's definitely interesting, considering the fact that... Oh, and then there's a... Oh, there is a Cougar down there. And there goes... Oh, Fat Boy's still alive. Whaler might... it doesn't have enough attack power to do it. If a Strat Bomber came in a second time, it would kill off that Fat Boy, but unfortunately the Whaler does not. Needed about probably 2 or 3 more Whalers in that mix, or at least one of those Strat Bombers. I think there's... I mean, there were a decent amount of Strat Bombers. Looks like they're just going to go for it anyways. The Fat Boy going to try to hide underneath shield coverage, but Team 1 pushing on this eastern side once again. Western side's just reclaiming. Team 1 reclaiming on the doorstep of Team 1. Sorry, Team 2. That is very ballsy of those engineers. And there goes that Fat Boy done and dusted. And yeah, I mean, T2 flak, again, really good against gunships. Strat Bombers, you need that T3. You need that T3 mobile or T3 stationary, either or. But now the artillery wars in terms of the mobile has started. We do see some absolvers as well. Those things don't do a lot of damage to actual physical, like, hull hit points, but you can see they wreck. They just rip through parashields or any sort of shields in general. Definitely clearing the way for artillery to rain in and kill off whatever is underneath those shields. But now Team 1's base is going to be fully SMD'd up, at least one loaded in each of the silos. And they're already 2/3 of the way to a second one each. Looks like there's another satellite. Where's the first one? Oh, that's this. Still the first one. I thought that was the second. Where is it going? Oh, it's killing all the mass. Very smart move for Team 2's Battlefront to go after the mass for anybody on Team 1. Reduces the income, but Team 1 at 900 mass per second. Team 2 at 450. Is that real? No, is that... What I mean by real, is that generated, or is that like assisting some reclaim? I don't know. Is that... Is that real? No, is that... What I mean by real, is that generated, or is that like assisting some reclaim? Is that... Is that real? No, is that... What I mean by real, is that generated, or is that like assisting some reclaim? Is that... Is that real? No, is that... What I mean by real, is that generated, or is that like assisting some reclaim? Is that... 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 No, that's legitimately generated. A lot of T3 mexes, some of them dual ringed, getting some rash comms on the field. Yeah, that's definitely that amount Sea Force having the most at 450. He does have a lot of T2 and T3 mexes in the middle and over here, so that definitely does help that number. Second satellite is online. Third one is going to be here shortly with some shields. Going to be built first. I approve of the shields, but it's just that could have been the not game winning, but it definitely would have turned the tide in favor of Team 2 most definitely, or at least help them come back in a meaningful way. Corsairs being built up, that's never a good sign here. BO4 is going to build those up and go for some sort of snipe on probably either the Novaxes or the Comm directly. I would assume the Comm, but you never know. They could go after the Nuke. No, they're not going to go after the Nuke because they have 3 SMDs, so that should be fine. Shield says Hannah below. Oh, talking about this over here. There are dual satellites going after the shield emitter, and Kane assisting the shield to regen. I don't think it's going to be enough. Needs a couple more engineers to assist, but he should be fine to be able to walk to a different shield. There are some engineers coming in to help shield him as well. But that shield is going to go down, unfortunately, here for Kane. The emitter will go down, and the P-Gen actually... Oh, no, target the SMD. The SMD is definitely more worth it than the P-Gen. Yep, and that SMD will go down. 2 more, of course, are loaded here. Will the satellites kill off the SMD? Oh yeah, they most definitely will. There goes the SMD. They'll refocus onto the power generator. Will they kill it off? Yes, they will. And then focus on Kane. Kane is in the yellow. Does have 108 hit points a second, and they're building some shields to protect him. Will the satellites retask onto the shields that's being built or task to the commander? Yes, they do retask to the shield. They'll kill off some of the engineers. And Kane, I mean, he needs to just start walking. Shield is being built once again. Kane dropping into about halfway between full health and dead. Shield will be built, and that should be enough to deal with those satellites overhead. Over the top, we have Team 1 bringing in a bug, and there goes the comm of Joker. It's not just going to become an assassination game against Team 2, and that bug, I mean, does have a lot of value. Already killed a 5,000 mass. Strap bombers over the top, take out some shielding as well. The first, actually that's the second satellite is down. The first satellite will fall. There's a lot of AA. Battlefront is going to die to the bug. That is the second kill here for Team 1's air player. And now at 41 minutes, it is just 1 player remaining here from Headshot of Death and versus the remaining players on Team 1. I like how the AA can't actually target anything because it's hitting cliffside. But I think at this point, we can probably speed it up. Bombers going after the T3 land headquarters. Don't know why, but they just want to target at something. And with both satellites down, the nuke is still online. It does have 1 loaded, and with 2 other comms down on Team 2, this is not looking good. That entire force that was pushing back Team 1 will retreat in hopes of defending against any sort of attack. Stealth has been canceled. Teleporter has been started for Sanoman. Already has laser on board. Going to cost him a pretty penny in energy. But, I mean, they have the advantage, and they're going to press it and probably just teleport in. Maybe... I don't know. There's not a lot of PD to protect Team 2. It's a bunch of AA. Shield going to be starting here for Headshot of Death. And going to sit next to the Pigeons and the Stone Ager T3 strategic missile launcher. Probably not the best place to stand, but it is. I mean, there's 1 shield. It's better than the T2 shields, to be fair. But it's just. I mean, I'm going to speed it up to 2. I think that's pretty worth it at this point. A lot of the mass still hasn't been reclaimed here in terms of the mass points. Chickens running around. Team 1 at 1.2k mass income. Team 2 at 488. More than double. Team 1 is producing more than double what Team 2 is. Second, experimental online for Seal. It is a crab. I don't see any more. I don't see a monkey. Very unfortunate to not see those. There was a Fat Boy online, and which means we only need 1 more, which would be the monkey lord to be all of the land experimentals built in a single game. I have had a game where all of land experimentals were built on 1 team in 1 game. And it does look like there's some strap bombers outbound for a nice juicy target. What are they going for? I don't know. Looks like they used T1 bombers to distract. They're going for the calm? The calm of Team 2 Sandalman. Sorry, Team 1 Sandalman has been defeated by Heshad. Looks like it tried to go for a snipe attempt. I don't know what killed them. There was some Fat Boy fire. And Team 1 PD right here. And engineers. And that's it. What happened? Maybe I'll recut that back in at the end of the video. Because that's kind of weird that he just died and there's like the Stonehenge isn't destroyed or anything. So I'll probably cut back at the end of the video. I'll cut it in and so we can see exactly what happened, because that's very weird that he didn't die, or he died but nothing else was killed except the shield. Just ended already, says Sanoman. And there's a lot of ASFs here. Artillery going to start to be built. Let's see what else is there. Team 1 PD going to protect CO Forces Commander. SMD has been rebuilt. Can't see what is loaded because the little ASF icon is still there. And chickens are rotating back and forth trying to intercept the chicken outbound from Team 1. There is a Colossus and a Megalith. I think I'm going to speed it up back to 2 because we know where this is going. It's like I said, Heshad versus 2 players left on Team 1. Both CO Force and Kane are left alive. The chicken now going to post up on top of this cliffside and just rain plasma down from the high ground. And the artillery, actually, the Ravagers are able to hit the chicken, but all of those units retreat in the face of it. With a crab and a Colossus and a chicken bearing down Team 2's neck. They only have a Fat Boy and 2 chickens. Shield still isn't protecting this Stonehenge. First one still has a nuke loaded, and we'll have a second one here pretty shortly. 2 more strats. This Sanoman, probably going for a sniper attempt, I'm assuming, on Headshot of Death's commander. But it's just artillery with some absolvers, just forcing back Team 2. We do see the artillery from the Fat Boy trying to just poke at this chicken and off him, of course, but I don't know if it's going to go very well. We'll be able to get a couple of Percy's that were napping here. And more Percy's up here. Percy's do engage. I don't know where this chicken's going, but it's going somewhere. As engineers coming to the front line. Chicken going to be moving its way southward. And another crab here to the west. Still no monkey. Why no monkey? There's no monkey. I'm sad. Artillery actually gets built. This one right here. Actually, I didn't even notice that one was built. The second one being built right here. Maybe I did notice that one. I can't remember. Artillery can easily take out the nuke and the air grid. Looks like it's focused on the comm directly. Team 1 wants to just end the game. I don't blame them. When you have victory in sight, all you got to do is just claim it. At least that's what they view. Or maybe that's what most people. It's like, you have the, more mass, more forces, better positioning, all of that. You might as well just end it and be done with it. I never believe in playing with my food because it never works out. But Team 2 did reclaim a ton more than Team 1 did, considering Team 1 dumped a bunch of mass on their doorstep. But again, when you're producing more mass, essentially more than triple the mass than your opponent, you can dump a couple of not engineers, but chickens worth of the mass. Crab does get defeated in the west, and chickens just killing each other in the middle of the map as well. It's just chicken suicide. Chicken side? Maybe it's chicken side. Maybe that's what it's called. Duke might just finish it for Team 2. I mean, again, 1 artillery is not going to be enough to force back Team 1 at all. I'm going to bring it back up to 2. Crab is retreating. The Percy's are able to kill off the Colossus. And I don't know if Team 1's not putting in enough effort or not, but, I mean, the Crab is still alive. Second one's coming back to... second one coming in to support it as well, if I can speak. But Fat Boy pushed up a little too far forward, trying to back up. Will not be able to get out of range of the chickens. And that Fat Boy will be killed off, unfortunately, here for Team 2. That is the, I think, last experimental that he has online. I don't see any more. There's some Optims in the base down south here wreaking havoc. Couple of Ravagers being built. Lots of AA. Couple of T2 PD. Oh, maybe it was this that was built and able to be in range. Nuke is outbound. Going after the crabs here in the east. Does he put it in the right place? He'll be able to singe that crab's backside. almost completely kill it off. Second nuke will launch. Where is this one going? Going over here for this chicken. That chicken will die. ASF flying around the nuke launch location, or the site where it's going to land. ASF's go, oh, got to get out of this. Hereby, chicken does get killed off by the nuke. Point defense nuke, it's at its finest. And strap bombers come in, take out some of the air grid. They're just assassinating all of his they're causing him to not be able to produce anything, and just Team 2 says, I'm done. He teleports out. There's a desync at the end of the game, but obviously that doesn't matter because Team 1 won it anyways, because it literally happened at the very end of the game. But in terms of MVP, I think I got to give it to... I think I got to give it to Seal Force, I think. Constantly pressuring the southern side, coming in to rotate as well. I mean, Taffy was killed off earlier as well. No, I think... I mean, it's kind of hard because Sanoman teleported in, didn't get anything out of his Telemazer commander, but with the bug play, he killed off 2 of the players on Team 2 and the strap bomber play as well. So, I mean, with 2 players killed off, it really severely weakened Team 2's APM, and it just led to a Team 1 victory. Team 1 was already headed in that way, but I think Sanoman just put the last nail in the coffin and went boop, and it was just left for Team 2 to just suffocate inside of the coffin. So I think Sanoman, I think he just ekes it out a little bit, but I do think the biggest blunder of the game definitely was Balfron. I mean, again, having the knowledge to know if Team 1 was weak to a nuke definitely would have helped, but had he launched the nuke or assisted it a little bit more, or launched it when he did and focused it on either Seal Force, I think Seal Force would have been the best target. Again, he would have gotten an SMD, a T3 Quantum Gateway, a bunch of the mass points, and at least half of the air grid. That definitely would have shaken up Team 1's front line, allowing Taffy to come in and at least force him back a little bit. But again, let me know down in the comments how you felt about the game. Please, of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comment section what you found interesting or what you didn't about the game. Again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And of course, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, and I will see all of you in the next one. And I will cut to the point in which Sanoman teleported in, and we'll figure out what happened with that. So again, thank you so much for watching, and here is that. Okay, so we are back to the moment when right about Sanoman was going to complete his teleportation upgrade. Let's see if he goes immediately. I can't remember if it goes immediately or not, so I think I'll just speed it up till we see the activation on it. Go up to 4, I think should be fast enough. There, okay, the activation has commenced. We'll lock on to Sanoman specifically and track him, and then go back to observer mode. So as long as I don't leave him, we'll go back. He goes all the way in over here. There's a couple of Team 1 PD down here that start targeting him. You do see some artillery fire from the Fat Boy. That takes out a lot of his hit points, overcharging, I think, from Headshot of Death, and that just essentially just wipes out the comm of Sanoman before you can do much of anything else. And that is how he died, and how essentially nothing really around him died with him. And again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the little cut that I added to the cast and showing how he died, since I did miss that. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.